Title: Cinderella's Royal Romance on the Run. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled amidst rolling green hills and majestic mountains, there lived a young maiden named Cinderella. She was not just any maiden, but the beloved daughter of the late Duke and Duchess, known far and wide for her kindness and grace. Despite her gentle nature, Cinderella had always felt confined within the walls of the royal castle, where every move she made was scrutinized and every word she spoke weighed with expectation. Her days were filled with courtly duties and royal lessons, preparing her for the day when she would assume her role as queen. Yet, beneath her elegant facade, Cinderella harbored dreams of a life beyond the palace grounds, a life filled with adventure, freedom, and most of all, true love. It was during one of the kingdom's grandest balls that Cinderella's fate would change forever. Dressed in the finest gown of silk and satin, her hair adorned with pearls, she captured the heart of Prince Alexander, the kingdom's most eligible bachelor. Their dance beneath the shimmering chandeliers was like something out of a fairy tale, and before the stroke of midnight, they had exchanged promises of love that would defy all odds. That sounds like a beautiful and enchanting moment. The magical atmosphere of the ball, the elegance of the gown, and the connection between Cinderella and Prince Alexander create the perfect foundation for a timeless romance. How would you like to expand on this scene? Should we explore what happens after midnight, or dive deeper into the characters' backstory and their future together? But as the clock struck 12, reality came crashing down upon them. Cinderella fled the ball, leaving behind only a single glass slipper as a token of their fleeting romance. The prince, determined to find his true love, searched the kingdom high and low, until at last, he came upon Cinderella's humble cottage hidden deep within the countryside. The journey to find Cinderella is filled with anticipation and a sense of destiny. The prince's determination and the symbolism of the glass slipper create a powerful connection between the two. As the prince arrives at Cinderella's cottage, he is struck by the contrast between her humble life and the grandeur of the ball. How do you envision their reunion? Will it be a moment of surprise, or will Cinderella have already known that the prince would come for her? There, amidst fields of golden wheat and under the watchful gaze of distant mountains, Cinderella and Prince Alexander found solace in each other's arms. Away from the prying eyes of courtiers and royal advisors, they discovered a love that was as pure as it was passionate, a love that transcended their royal titles and societal expectations. The scene of their reunion amidst nature, far from the constraints of the royal court, creates a perfect setting for their love to flourish. The golden wheat fields and distant mountains symbolize the freedom they now share, unburdened by the expectations of their respective worlds. Their love becomes a sanctuary where they can be their true selves. As they embrace, the weight of the world falls away. Their connection, forged in the moments of the ball and solidified in the quiet of the countryside, becomes their strength. What direction do you want their love story to take from here? Will they defy the kingdom's expectations, or will they find a way to merge their worlds together? But their happiness was not without its challenges. As news of their forbidden romance spread throughout the kingdom, Cinderella and the prince faced relentless pressure to uphold their duties and responsibilities. The queen dowager, determined to secure a suitable match for her son, orchestrated elaborate schemes to keep them apart. The tension between love and duty creates a powerful conflict in their story. The queen dowager's schemes, driven by her desire to control the prince's future, add a layer of intrigue and danger. Her actions could range from social pressures to political maneuvering, perhaps even attempting to arrange a marriage for Prince Alexander with someone more suitable in her eyes. As Cinderella and Prince Alexander fight to stay together, they must navigate not only the queen's machinations but also the expectations of the entire kingdom. Perhaps they begin to question what they truly want. Do they seek to change the kingdom's traditions? Or will they fight for a love that transcends royal obligations? How do you see Cinderella and Prince Alexander confronting these challenges? Will they stand firm against the queen, or will they try to find a way to work within the constraints of their world? Yet, with each obstacle they overcame, Cinderella and Prince Alexander grew stronger in their resolve. Together, they embarked on daring escapades through the rugged countryside, seeking refuge in hidden valleys and forgotten castles. Along the way, they encountered a colorful cast of characters: kind-hearted peasants, wise old sages, and mischievous woodland creatures, who aided them in their quest for freedom. Their journey through the rugged countryside sounds like an adventurous and transformative experience. Each new character they meet could offer both wisdom and practical help, allowing Cinderella and Prince Alexander to learn more about themselves and each other. The kindness of the peasants and the wisdom of the sages could help them find solutions to the challenges they face, while the mischievous woodland creatures might provide comic relief and unexpected assistance at key moments. Perhaps these escapades also help them discover hidden strengths within themselves, from leadership to courage, as they move further away from the expectations of the court. They could also find ways to subtly subvert the queen's control, using the support of the people they meet on their journey. What kind of adventures or challenges do you see them encountering along the way? Maybe they face an external threat, like a rival kingdom, or perhaps an internal struggle, where they question their loyalty to the crown versus their love for each other. As the seasons changed and the fields bloomed with wildflowers, Cinderella and the prince found themselves at a crossroads. With their kingdom on the brink of war and their love tested to its limits, they were forced to confront their deepest fears and desires. Would they choose duty over love, or would they defy the odds and forge their own path? The looming threat of war adds an intense layer of urgency to their journey, and the crossroads they face could be a pivotal moment in their story. As the kingdom teeters on the edge of conflict, the pressure to choose between duty and love becomes all-consuming. The wildflowers blooming in the fields could symbolize hope and new beginnings, but also the fragility of the moment. They must decide whether to nurture their love or to let it fade for the sake of their responsibilities. Their internal conflict could mirror the external one, where the kingdom's future depends on the prince's choices. Perhaps they are faced with a difficult decision: to return to the kingdom and take up their roles in the royal court, sacrificing their personal happiness for the greater good, or to flee once more, risking everything to be together but leaving the kingdom vulnerable. What do you envision as the key turning point in their decision? Do they discover a hidden ally who can help them avoid the war, or do they find a way to unite the kingdom through their love? In the end, it was Cinderella's courage and unwavering faith that led them to their happily ever after. With the support of their loyal subjects and the blessings of the kingdom's elders, she and Prince Alexander were crowned as the rightful rulers of their land. Together, they ruled with compassion and wisdom, guiding their kingdom into a new era of prosperity and peace. Cinderella's courage and unwavering faith create a powerful conclusion to their journey. Her belief in their love and in the possibility of a better future for the kingdom ultimately leads to their triumph. With the support of their loyal subjects and the wisdom of the kingdom's elders, their love transforms not only their lives but also the future of the land they rule. Their reign, built on compassion and wisdom, represents a new era for the kingdom, one where love, unity, and fairness are the guiding principles. The challenges they faced and overcame together only strengthened their bond, allowing them to lead with empathy and understanding. This ending leaves a lasting message about the power of love, courage, and the willingness to fight for a better world. How would you like to conclude the story? Perhaps with a final scene that reflects their prosperous rule or a symbolic gesture that marks their reign. And so, Nestled amidst the timeless beauty of mountains and fields, Cinderella and her prince lived out their fairy tale romance, a testament to the power of love, courage, and the belief that true happiness can be found in the most unexpected of places. As dawn broke over the kingdom, casting a golden glow on the castle's towering spires, Cinderella and Prince Alexander made their escape. Disguised in simple peasant attire, they slipped out through a hidden passage beneath the castle gardens, a secret route known only to the prince and his most trusted confidants. The passage led them to the outskirts of the kingdom, where the open fields stretched as far as the eye could see. This new twist introduces an exciting sense of adventure and mystery, as Cinderella and Prince Alexander choose to leave the castle behind, even after all they've overcome. The image of them escaping under the cover of dawn, with the golden glow symbolizing both the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, is powerful. The hidden passage beneath the castle gardens adds an element of secrecy, emphasizing that their escape is not just an act of love but also of defiance against the constraints of their royal lives. As they make their way to the open fields, the sense of freedom and possibility grows. The wide open spaces could symbolize the future that lies ahead of them, unmarked by the expectations of the court or the looming threat of war. How do you see their journey unfolding from here? Will they continue to seek peace and freedom, perhaps starting a new life in a distant land, or will they return to face their kingdom with new wisdom and strength, ready to lead it in their own way? Their journey had only just begun, but the road ahead was fraught with peril. The Queen Dowager, enraged by her son's defiance, had dispatched royal guards to track them down. Wanted posters bearing crude sketches of Cinderella and Alexander soon adorned every village square, and the countryside buzzed with rumors of their flight. The pursuit adds a thrilling sense of danger to their journey. The Queen Dowager's wrath creates a relentless antagonist, and the royal guard's pursuit heightens the stakes. The wanted posters and rumors in every village square spread the tension, with the couple constantly on the move, never fully able to relax or trust their surroundings. This sense of being hunted also reinforces the idea that their love and freedom are worth fighting for, even as they navigate the perils of their escape. As they travel through unfamiliar lands, they may encounter both allies and enemies. Perhaps the peasants and travelers they meet along the way, who once supported them, are now divided in their loyalties, some fearing the Queen's wrath and others willing to help the Prince and Cinderella in secret. Their bond will be tested in ways that demand trust, resourcefulness, and resilience. What challenges do you see them facing as they evade capture? Will they have to confront the royal guards head-on at some point, or will they find a way to outwit their pursuers? The first obstacle, the river crossing their first challenge, came in the form of a wide, rushing river that cut through the valley. The bridge, their only means of crossing, was heavily guarded. Cinderella and Alexander crouched behind a thicket, watching the guards patrol the area. The rushing river and the heavily guarded bridge create a tense moment in their journey, forcing Cinderella and Alexander to rely on their wits and quick thinking. As they crouch behind the thicket, the urgency of the situation becomes palpable. The guards' constant patrols make any attempt to cross the bridge seem nearly impossible, but this is the moment where their bond and resourcefulness will shine. Perhaps they could use the terrain to their advantage. Maybe they can find a way to distract the guards or even create a diversion. Alternatively, they might use the river itself as a challenge to navigate, risking the swift current to escape undetected. This could also be a turning point in their relationship, as they must work together to come up with a plan, showcasing their growing trust and unity. Do you envision them overcoming this challenge by outsmarting the guards, or will they take a risk and attempt to cross the river in another way? "We'll never make it across unnoticed," Cinderella whispered, her voice tinged with worry. Alexander's brow furrowed in thought. There's a fishing boat tied downstream. If we can reach it, we can row across. The plan was risky, but they had no choice. With the sun setting behind them, they crept along the riverbank, their hearts pounding with every step. Just as they untied the boat, a guard spotted them. The tension reaches its peak as they make their move, the setting sun casting long shadows over the riverbank, heightening the sense of urgency. The guard spotting them just as they untie the boat adds a dramatic twist, forcing Cinderella and Alexander into a moment of quick decision-making. They have mere moments to react before the situation escalates. In this critical moment, they could either try to fight their way out, using the boat as their escape, or they could attempt a more subtle approach, perhaps hiding in the boat, hoping to blend in with the shadows of the evening. Alternatively, they might have an ally nearby who could help them distract the guard, buying them enough time to escape. This is a crucial point in their journey, where their quick thinking and trust in each other will determine whether they make it across the river or face capture. How do you see them reacting to the guard's discovery? Do they make a desperate run for the boat, or do they try to outwit him? Hey! Stop right there, the guard shouted, drawing his sword. Without hesitation, Alexander pushed the boat into the water and helped Cinderella aboard. As arrows whizzed past them, he grabbed an oar and began rowing with all his might. The current was strong, but their determination was stronger. They reached the opposite bank, breathless but safe, for now. The tension of the moment is palpable, and their escape across the river is a heart-pounding scene of bravery and determination. The sound of arrows whizzing past adds to the urgency, and Alexander's quick thinking in pushing the boat into the water and rowing with all his strength shows his commitment to protecting Cinderella. The strong current symbolizes the obstacles they face, but their shared determination propels them forward, overcoming the immediate danger. Reaching the opposite bank, breathless but safe, marks a moment of triumph, but it's clear that their journey is far from over. The sense of relief is temporary. There's still the threat of the Queen's pursuit, and the challenges ahead are unknown. As they catch their breath on the shore, what do you envision their next steps to be? Do they continue their journey deeper into the countryside, or do they take a moment to regroup and plan their next move? The second obstacle, the market encounter the next day, they arrived at a bustling marketplace in a small village. They needed supplies, but their faces were too recognizable. Cinderella pulled her hood lower over her face, while Alexander kept his head down. The bustling marketplace offers a chance for Cinderella and Alexander to blend in, but the risk of being recognized adds a layer of tension. The village is alive with activity, and amidst the noise and movement, they must navigate the delicate balance of staying unnoticed while gathering the supplies they need. Cinderella's hood and Alexander's oared head are small but essential precautions, but even the smallest misstep could reveal their identities. As they move through the market, they might encounter people who are sympathetic to their cause, offering them help in secret, or they might find themselves in a dangerous situation where they must rely on their quick thinking to escape. Perhaps a vendor recognizes them and hesitates, unsure whether to help or turn them in. This could be a pivotal moment where their trust in the people around them is tested. Do they find a safe way to gather supplies, or do they face a new threat in the form of a close call with the royal guards? As they browsed a vendor's stall, a merchant eyed them suspiciously. "You two look familiar." Thinking quickly, Cinderella picked up a basket of apples and began chatting animatedly about the harvest season. Her charm and wit disarmed the merchant, who soon laughed and waved them off. "You remind me of someone I once knew," he said, shaking his head. "Safe travels, strangers." Cinderella's quick thinking and charm shine through in this moment. Her ability to engage the merchant with a light-hearted conversation about the harvest season not only buys them time but also earns them the merchant's trust. The merchant's comment, "You remind me of someone I once knew," adds a touch of mystery, hinting at the possibility that he may have once known someone like them, perhaps a royal figure or someone who lived under the queen's rule. This moment of success allows Cinderella and Alexander to gather the supplies they need without drawing attention, and the merchant's parting words offer a brief but welcome sense of safety. However, the phrase, "safe travels, strangers," carries an undercurrent of uncertainty. The merchant may be aware of more than he lets on, or he may simply be extending kindness to those in need. As they leave the marketplace, they now have what they need, but this interaction could also serve as a reminder that their journey is fraught with hidden risks. Do you see this as a moment of relief, or will the tension continue to build as they move forward? Relieved, they slipped away before the merchant could change his mind. The third obstacle, the forest ambushed their path, led them through a dense forest, where the shadows seemed to whisper of danger. As they walked, a group of bandits emerged from the trees, blocking their way. The dense forest, with its shadows and whispered secrets, sets the stage for a tense encounter. The bandits' sudden emergence from the trees adds a layer of danger and unpredictability to their journey. The forest, once a symbol of freedom, now feels like a trap, and Cinderella and Alexander are forced to confront yet another threat. The bandits could be ruthless, demanding their supplies or even threatening them for their identities, knowing that anyone on the run from the royal family must have something worth taking. However, this moment could also test their resourcefulness and courage. Perhaps they attempt to outwit the bandits, use the environment to their advantage, or even appeal to their sense of morality. This encounter could also reveal more about Cinderella and Alexander's character. Will they fight back, or will they find a way to talk their way out of the situation? The bandits' motivations, whether they are just after money or have a deeper connection to the kingdom's unrest, could also play a role in how the scene unfolds. How do you envision them dealing with this new threat? "Hand over your valuables," the leader growled, brandishing a knife. Alexander stepped protectively in front of Cinderella. "We have nothing of value," he said calmly, though his hand rested on the hilt of a dagger hidden beneath his cloak. Cinderella, ever resourceful, noticed a beehive hanging precariously above the bandits. She nudged Alexander and whispered her plan. With a well-aimed throw of a stone, she dislodged the hive. The bees swarmed the bandits, who fled in a panic, leaving the couple unharmed. Cinderella's quick thinking and resourcefulness turned the tide in their favor once again. The beehive, a clever and unexpected weapon, provides the perfect distraction. The chaos of the bees swarming the bandits creates a moment of pure action, with the bandits fleeing in fear and the couple remaining unharmed. The fact that they managed to escape without violence shows their ability to adapt and think on their feet, reinforcing their bond and trust in each other. As the bandits disappear into the forest, the couple shares a moment of relief, but they know that danger still lurks. The forest may have been their escape route, but it also remains a place of peril, and their journey is far from over. What's next for Cinderella and Alexander? Do they continue deeper into the forest, or do they seek a safer route as they plan their next move? "Remind me never to underestimate you," Alexander said with a grin as they continued on their way. The turning point, a quiet night. As they ventured deeper into the mountains, the danger began to subside. They found refuge in an abandoned cabin overlooking a serene valley. That night, as they sat by the fire, Alexander took Cinderella's hand. The quiet refuge of the abandoned cabin offers a peaceful contrast to the dangers they've faced, and the serene valley below symbolizes a moment of calm after the storm. The firelight flickers, casting a warm glow over their faces as they sit together, taking solace in the safety of their temporary haven. As Alexander takes Cinderella's hand, it's a tender moment of connection, a reminder of the love that has carried them through so many trials. This could be a turning point where they reflect on their journey in the path ahead, perhaps sharing their deepest fears, hopes, and dreams for the future. The peaceful night could also serve as a moment of quiet before the next challenge arises. Do they discuss their plans for the future, or do they simply enjoy the peace of the moment, knowing that the road ahead will be uncertain? "I never imagined life outside the palace could be so free," he admitted. "But I wouldn't trade this for anything, as long as I'm with you." Cinderella smiled, her eyes shining with love. "We'll face whatever comes our way together. Our love is worth fighting for." Cinderella's words encapsulate the strength of their bond, and her unwavering belief in their love makes this moment even more poignant. With her declaration, she reassures both herself and Alexander that no matter the obstacles, their love is worth the fight. It's a beautiful affirmation of their commitment to each other, and it sets the stage for whatever comes next. This moment of emotional clarity could also inspire Alexander, reinforcing his resolve to protect her and their future. Together, they are stronger than any force that may try to tear them apart. How do you see their journey continuing from here? Do they start making plans for their next move, or does a new challenge arise that tests their resolve once again? The final test, confronting the guards. Their journey reached its climax when they were cornered by royal guards near the kingdom's border. Outnumbered and unarmed, it seemed their escape had come to an end. The stakes have never been higher. The royal guards, now closing in on them near the kingdom's border, represent the final obstacle between Cinderella, Alexander, and their freedom. Outnumbered and unarmed, it feels as though all hope is lost, and the end of their journey is near. This moment of vulnerability heightens the tension, making it clear that their love has been tested to its limits. But this could also be the moment where Cinderella and Alexander's resolve is put to the ultimate test. Perhaps their love and determination inspire a final act of defiance, or they might discover an unexpected ally who comes to their aid at the last moment. This could also be where the lessons they've learned throughout their journey, trust, resourcefulness, and courage, come into play, allowing them to outwit the guards or find a way to escape one last time. How do you envision this climax unfolding? Do they have a hidden trick up their sleeve, or does fate intervene in an unexpected way? But just as the guards moved to capture them, the villagers they had helped along the way came to their aid. The marketplace merchant, the fisherman, and even the wise old woman they had met in the forest stood together to defend them. "You won't take them," the villagers declared, forming a protective circle around the couple. The guards, overwhelmed by the sheer number of supporters, reluctantly retreated. Cinderella and Alexander were free at last. As Cinderella and Prince Alexander journeyed deeper into the hidden corners of the kingdom, they discovered a world far removed from the opulence of the palace. Rolling meadows gave way to shadowy forests, and sleepy villages nestled in the foothills of towering mountains. Every step brought them closer to freedom but also deeper into danger. Their journey through the hidden corners of the kingdom offers a striking contrast to the life they once knew. The rolling meadows and shadowy forests symbolize both the freedom they seek and the increasing peril they face. The sleepy villages nestled in the foothills add an air of mystery, as they are no longer bound by the court's grandeur but are instead immersed in the raw, untamed beauty of the land. However, this newfound freedom also comes with its own set of dangers, as they venture farther from the safety of the palace. Each step brings them closer to their goal, but it also pushes them into unfamiliar and unpredictable territory. They may encounter more allies along the way, perhaps peasants or outcasts who have also suffered under the queen's rule, but they are also at greater risk of being discovered by royal forces. As they move deeper into the kingdom's heart, their love is tested by the environment and the choices they must make. What challenges or allies do you see them encountering as they venture into these hidden corners of the kingdom? The wise old advisor one night, while seeking shelter from a storm, they stumbled upon a secluded cottage. The door creaked open to reveal an elderly man with a flowing silver beard and piercing blue eyes. He introduced himself as Alaric, a former royal advisor who had been exiled for speaking out against the Queen Dowager's tyranny. Alaric, with his silver beard and piercing blue eyes, is a fascinating character who adds both mystery and depth to their journey. As a former royal advisor exiled for opposing the Queen Dowager's tyranny, he becomes an unexpected ally, someone who understands the inner workings of the court and the queen's machinations. His presence in the secluded cottage suggests that he's lived a life of quiet resistance, perhaps gathering knowledge and allies in secret. His wisdom and experience could provide Cinderella and Alexander with valuable insight into the queen's strategies, as well as possible ways to outmaneuver her. Alaric might also have connections or resources that could aid them in their escape, perhaps even a network of loyalists who have been quietly working to undermine the queen's rule. This encounter could also serve as a turning point in their journey, as Alaric's guidance helps them take the next step toward their goal, whether it's finding a safe haven, preparing for a final confrontation with the queen, or discovering a hidden weakness in the royal guard. How do you see Alaric's role unfolding in their story? Will he be a mentor, a guide, or even an unexpected catalyst for their next bold move? "I know who you are," Alaric said, his voice a mix of curiosity and amusement. "And I know what you're running from." Cinderella and Alexander exchanged wary glances, but Alaric raised a hand to reassure them. "Fear not. I have no love for the palace anymore. But if you wish to survive, you'll need more than courage. You'll need wisdom." Over a humble meal, Alaric shared his knowledge of the kingdom's secret pathways and hidden sanctuaries. He also offered them a cryptic warning: trust is a double-edged sword. Not everyone who offers you help has your best interests at heart. The next morning, armed with a map and Alaric's advice, they continued their journey. The ruthless bounty hunter their next encounter was far less fortuitous. As they traversed a rocky mountain pass, a shadowy figure emerged from the mist. Clad in dark leather and armed with an arsenal of weapons, the woman introduced herself as Seraphine, the kingdom's most feared bounty hunter. Seraphine's appearance marks a dramatic shift in the story's tone, introducing a formidable new adversary. Clad in dark leather and armed with an arsenal of weapons, she exudes danger and confidence, a stark contrast to the vulnerable state Cinderella and Alexander are in. As the kingdom's most feared bounty hunter, Seraphine is a skilled and relentless tracker, sent to capture or eliminate those who defy the queen's authority. Her introduction in the misty mountain pass adds an eerie, almost supernatural quality to the encounter. The rocky terrain and fog create a sense of isolation, and Seraphine's presence feels like an inescapable trap. Her confidence in her ability to capture them suggests that this will be one of their most difficult challenges yet. This encounter could test their resourcefulness and strength in ways they haven't faced before. They may need to rely on their wits to outmaneuver her, or perhaps they'll have to confront her head-on, discovering that Seraphine isn't just a bounty hunter, but someone with her own motivations and reasons for doing what she does. How do you envision this encounter unfolding? Will Cinderella and Alexander try to outsmart Seraphine, or will they have to fight for their lives? Does Seraphine have a personal stake in capturing them, or is she simply a hired hand doing her job? "I've been paid handsomely to bring you back," Seraphine said, her voice cold and calculating. "But I'm not without a heart. Surrender now, and I'll make sure you're treated fairly." Alexander stepped forward, shielding Cinderella. "We'll never go back willingly," he said firmly. Seraphine smirked. "Suit yourself." What followed was a harrowing chase through the rugged terrain. Cinderella and Alexander used every trick Alaric had taught them, leading Seraphine into a series of natural traps. At one point, Cinderella cleverly used her knowledge of herbs to create a makeshift smoke bomb, buying them precious time to escape. Though they managed to evade Seraphine, the encounter left them shaken. It was a stark reminder of the forces working against them. The traveling minstrel, their spirits were lifted when they encountered a jovial traveling minstrel named Hugo. With his lute slung over his shoulder and a mischievous twinkle in his eye, Hugo offered to guide them through the dense forest in exchange for tales of their adventures. Hugo, the jovial traveling minstrel, brings a much-needed sense of lightness and warmth to their journey. With his lute slung over his shoulder and a mischievous twinkle in his eye, he's a character who seems to embody freedom and spontaneity, qualities that have been lacking in Cinderella and Alexander's tense journey. His offer to guide them through the dense forest in exchange for tales of their adventures is both practical and charming, giving them a brief respite from the dangers they've been facing. Hugo could serve as a guide not just through the forest, but also in helping them see the lighter side of their journey. His songs and stories could provide comfort and distraction, allowing them to temporarily forget the peril they're in. However, beneath his playful exterior, Hugo may also have a deeper knowledge of the land and its hidden paths, perhaps even knowing about secret routes that could lead them to safety. This encounter could also serve as a turning point in their journey, where they gain new insights or allies, and Hugo's tales might inspire them to keep pushing forward. Does Hugo have any hidden motives, or is he simply a kind soul who enjoys hearing stories and helping those in need? How do you see his role unfolding in the larger story? As they traveled, Hugo regaled them with songs and stories, lightening the mood with his humor. He also proved surprisingly resourceful, helping them barter for supplies and avoid suspicious villagers. "You two make quite the pair," Hugo said one evening as they sat by a campfire. "But love isn't just about grand gestures. It's about the little things, like sharing the last piece of bread or standing watch so the other can sleep." His words resonated deeply with Cinderella and Alexander, who began to see their relationship in a new light. Revelations and growth. As their journey continued, the prince and Cinderella found themselves growing closer. They discovered hidden strengths in each other: Cinderella's quick thinking and resourcefulness, Alexander's steadfast courage and determination. But they also confronted their vulnerabilities. As their journey unfolds, the deepening connection between Cinderella and Alexander becomes even more poignant. Their individual strengths, Cinderella's resourcefulness and Alexander's courage, have already proven invaluable in their survival, but the process of discovering these qualities in each other also brings a new level of intimacy. They see each other not just as lovers, but as partners who complement and strengthen each other. At the same time, their vulnerabilities come to the forefront. The weight of the kingdom's pursuit, the fear of being caught, and the constant danger could chip away at their resolve, revealing moments of doubt, exhaustion, and uncertainty. These vulnerabilities, whether they're emotional, physical, or psychological, become a part of their shared journey, allowing them to grow closer and trust each other even more deeply. This emotional depth adds richness to their relationship, making their bond even more powerful as they face the challenges ahead. The realization that they are not invincible, but that they can lean on each other, will likely propel them forward, giving them the strength to face whatever comes next. How do you see their relationship evolving from here? Will these moments of vulnerability lead to deeper revelations about their pasts or their future together? Cinderella confessed her fears of not being good enough to stand by Alexander's side as a royal. Alexander, in turn, admitted his struggles with the weight of his responsibilities and his fear of failure. "You're stronger than you think," Alexander told her one evening as they rested by a sparkling mountain stream. "You've already proven that time and again." "And you're not alone," Cinderella replied, placing a hand on his. "We'll face whatever comes together." The final test, the village betrayal their bond, was put to the ultimate test when they sought refuge in a small village nestled in a valley. At first, the villagers welcomed them warmly, offering food and shelter. But their kindness masked ulterior motives. One of the villagers, lured by the promise of a reward, secretly alerted the royal guards. The warmth of the village's welcome provides a fleeting sense of safety, only for it to be shattered by the betrayal that follows. The villagers, initially kind-hearted, reveal a darker side, driven by the promise of a reward. This betrayal strikes at the heart of Cinderella and Alexander's trust in others, reminding them that even in the most peaceful places, danger can lurk beneath the surface. The royal guard's imminent arrival heightens the tension, forcing them to once again rely on their wits and resourcefulness to escape. Their bond, already tested by the dangers of their journey, is pushed to its limits as they are forced to make split-second decisions to protect themselves and each other. The moment of betrayal not only tests their physical survival but also challenges their emotional trust in the world around them. This could be a turning point in their relationship, where they are forced to confront the harsh realities of their situation. Perhaps they become more cautious, or maybe this experience strengthens their resolve to rely only on each other and the few trusted allies they've encountered. How do you see them responding to this betrayal? Do they confront the villager, or do they make a quick escape? And how does this affect their relationship moving forward? When the guards arrived, Cinderella and Alexander were ambushed. Outnumbered and cornered, it seemed all hope was lost. But in that moment of despair, the villagers who had grown to admire their bravery rallied to their defense. "These two have done nothing but show us kindness," one villager declared. "We won't let you take them." A fierce battle ensued, and though the villagers were no match for the guards, their courage bought Cinderella and Alexander enough time to escape. The resolution at last, they reached a hidden sanctuary high in the mountains, a place Alaric had told them about. There, surrounded by nature's beauty, they found a moment of peace. As they gazed out over the valley below, they reflected on how far they had come. The hidden sanctuary high in the mountains offers a serene and much-needed reprieve for Cinderella and Alexander. Surrounded by nature's beauty, they finally have a moment to breathe, far removed from the chaos and danger that has followed them. The vastness of the valley below symbolizes both the journey they've endured and the freedom they've fought for, offering them a chance to reflect on their shared experiences. As they gaze out over the valley, the weight of their journey becomes clear: the battles they've fought, the betrayals they've faced, and the growth they've experienced together. In this quiet moment, they can fully appreciate how far they've come, not just in terms of physical distance, but in their emotional and personal development. They've discovered new strengths in each other, confronted their vulnerabilities, and deepened their bond. This moment of peace could be both a catharsis and a turning point. It might inspire them to solidify their commitment to each other, reaffirming their shared goal of freedom and love. Or, it could serve as a moment of reflection before they face the final challenges that lie ahead, perhaps even a confrontation with the Queen or the royal guards. How do you see this moment shaping their next steps? Does it lead to a renewed sense of purpose, Or is it a brief pause before the next storm? We've faced every challenge and still found our way, Cinderella said, her voice filled with quiet determination. We can do anything as long as we're together. Alexander took her hand, his eyes shining with love. You're right. Our love is stronger than anything this world can throw at us. Their journey was far from over, but they knew they had the strength to face whatever lay ahead. Together, they would rewrite their destiny, one step, one challenge, and one triumph at a time. The looming threat, a betrayal from within their journey, seemed to be reaching its climax as they approached the border of a neighboring kingdom, where they hoped to find sanctuary. But unknown to them, the Queen Dowager had sent a trusted royal advisor, Lord Varick, to lead the search. Varick was a cunning strategist who knew the prince's mind well and anticipated his every move. As Cinderella and Alexander near the border of the neighboring kingdom, their hopes for sanctuary are high, but the looming presence of Lord Varick casts a shadow over their final steps. A trusted royal advisor, Varick is not just a strategist but someone who knows the prince's mind intimately, having likely been a close confidant in the past. His ability to anticipate Alexander's moves makes him an incredibly dangerous adversary, as he can predict their every action and set traps accordingly. Varick's presence introduces a psychological element to the final stage of their journey. He may not only use his strategic mind to track them but also exploit their weaknesses, sowing doubt and fear. His knowledge of Alexander's thinking could lead to a series of tense encounters, where the prince is forced to outwit a man who knows him better than anyone else. For Cinderella and Alexander, this final challenge could be their greatest test yet, not just of their physical endurance but of their ability to trust each other completely and outsmart a man who is always one step ahead. They may need to rely on everything they've learned so far, Cinderella's quick thinking, Alexander's courage, and their deep bond, to evade Varick's pursuit and finally reach safety. How do you envision their confrontation with Lord Varick? Will they manage to outmaneuver him, or is there a deeper conflict that will unfold between them? Disguised as a sympathetic traveler, Varick intercepted them at a mountain inn. His charm and apparent knowledge of the hardships they faced quickly earned their trust. He offered to guide them through the treacherous mountain pass, promising a safe route to freedom. Cinderella, ever cautious, felt an unease she couldn't explain. Something about him doesn't feel right, she confided to Alexander. He's risking a lot to help us, Alexander replied, torn between his instincts and his desperation to protect Cinderella. We have no other options. Reluctantly, they followed Varick, unaware that he had already alerted a squadron of royal guards to intercept them at the pass. The precipice of heartbreak as dawn broke over the jagged peaks, the trap was sprung. The royal guards surrounded them, cutting off every avenue of escape. Varick revealed his true identity with a cruel smile. Did you really think you could outrun the crown? The trap is now fully set, and the stakes couldn't be higher. As the dawn light casts long shadows over the jagged peaks, the royal guards close in, cutting off every avenue of escape. Varick's cruel smile and his chilling words, "Did you really think you could outrun the crown?" make it clear that the pursuit was never just about capturing them. It's a game of power and control, with the Queen Dowager's influence reaching its tendrils into every corner of the kingdom, even the most remote mountain passes. This moment represents the culmination of everything Cinderella and Alexander have fought for. The love they've shared, the risks they've taken, and the alliances they've formed all come to this point. Varick, with his cunning and intimate knowledge of Alexander's mind, forces them into a corner. There's no more running, no more hiding. It's a confrontation, and the outcome will determine whether they can finally escape the Queen's grasp or be dragged back into the royal fold. However, this is also the moment where their bond is tested in its most intense form. They must find a way to turn the tables on Varric and the guards, relying on everything they've learned about each other and the world around them. Perhaps they'll outsmart Varric with a clever ruse, or maybe the final challenge will require them to fight for their freedom in ways they never anticipated. How do you see this confrontation playing out? Will it be a battle of wits, a physical struggle, or a final act of defiance that secures their future? Alexander stepped forward, his voice steady despite the turmoil in his heart. Let her go, Varric. She's done nothing wrong. If you must take someone, take me. But Cinderella refused to let him sacrifice himself. No. We face this together, Alexander. We always have. Varric, sensing the depth of their bond, gave them a cruel ultimatum. Surrender willingly, and I'll ensure Cinderella is sent far away, unharmed. Resist, and you'll both face the Queen's wrath. The prince was faced with an impossible choice: his duty to the throne or his love for Cinderella. Torn between his loyalty to his kingdom and his desire to protect the woman he loved, he hesitated. Cinderella, seeing his anguish, made the decision for him. I won't let you give up everything for me, she said, her voice breaking. You're a prince, Alexander. Your people need you. A desperate gamble just as all seemed lost, a familiar voice echoed through the pass. Stand down, Varric. It was Alaric, the wise old advisor, flanked by a band of villagers and former royal soldiers loyal to the prince. They had been tracking the couple's journey, determined to aid them in their time of need. A fierce battle erupted. Cinderella and Alexander fought side by side, their determination fueled by their love and the support of their allies. Varric, realizing he was outnumbered, retreated with his guards, vowing to return. The final hurdle, though they had won the battle, the couple knew the war was far from over. The Queen Dowager would stop at nothing to bring Alexander back, and their love would continue to face trials. As they rested in a hidden valley, Alexander turned to Cinderella. I've realized something, he said, his voice resolute. My duty isn't to the throne, it's to my people. And I can't serve them if I abandon the one person who gives me strength. Cinderella's eyes filled with tears. And I've realized that I'm stronger with you by my side. Together, we can face anything. The resolution determined to reclaim their future, Alexander and Cinderella devised a plan to confront the Queen Dowager and appeal to the kingdom's people. With Alaric's guidance and the support of their newfound allies, they returned to the palace, ready to face the ultimate test. In the grand throne room, they stood before the Queen Dowager and the assembled court. Alexander spoke with conviction, declaring his love for Cinderella and his vision for a kingdom built on compassion and unity, not fear and control. The courtiers, moved by his words and inspired by the couple's courage, rallied to their side. The Queen Dowager, seeing her influence wane, reluctantly stepped down, allowing Alexander to ascend to the throne with Cinderella as his queen. The lesson of true love, the trials Cinderella and Alexander faced, transformed them. The innocence of their first meeting in the glittering ballroom had given way to a love forged in the fires of adversity. They no longer clung to the idea of a perfect fairy tale but embraced the beauty of an imperfect reality. As they stood together on the castle balcony after reclaiming their place in the kingdom, the sun set behind the distant mountains, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. Cinderella looked out at the horizon, her heart full of gratitude for the journey that had brought them to this moment. Standing together on the castle balcony after reclaiming their place in the kingdom, Cinderella and Alexander have finally reached the culmination of their journey. The setting sun, casting its golden and crimson hues across the sky, mirrors the transformation they've undergone. The colors of the sky represent the challenges they've overcome and the hope that now shines brightly before them. This moment, bathed in the soft glow of the sunset, is a testament to their resilience and love. Cinderella's heart full of gratitude reflects the deep sense of fulfillment that comes not just from reclaiming the throne, but from the journey itself, the trials, the growth, the bonds they've formed, and the love that has only deepened. She looks out at the horizon, perhaps seeing not just the future of their kingdom, but the life they will build together, free from the pressures and constraints that once held them back. For Alexander, standing beside her, this moment is likely one of both relief and pride. He's not just won back his kingdom, he's done so with the woman he loves by his side, a partner who has proven her strength, wisdom, and unwavering loyalty. Together, they've rewritten their story, defying all odds. This scene is a beautiful, quiet resolution to their tumultuous journey. It's a moment of peace before they face the responsibilities of ruling, but also a moment of celebration for the love that has carried them through. What do you envision for their future now that they've reclaimed their kingdom? Will they face new challenges, or is this a true happily ever after for them? I used to dream of a prince who would sweep me off my feet, she said softly, her voice tinged with both nostalgia and wisdom. But now I see that love isn't about being rescued. It's about choosing each other, every day, no matter the obstacles. Alexander turned to her, his gaze steady and filled with admiration. And I thought love was about perfection, about finding someone who fit neatly into the life I was born into. But you've shown me that love is messy, unpredictable, and worth every risk. Freedom, trust, and risk. Their journey taught them that true love couldn't flourish without freedom. They had to choose each other, not out of obligation or expectation, but because they genuinely wanted to. Trust was their foundation, trust in each other's strengths, in their ability to face challenges together, and in the belief that their love could weather any storm. And perhaps most importantly, they learned that love required risk. Leaving the palace, defying the Queen Dowager, and venturing into the unknown were acts of bravery that tested their bond. But it was in those moments of uncertainty that their love deepened and grew. The peoples loved the kingdom, once skeptical of the prince's choice to love a commoner, embraced their story. Villagers and nobles alike saw in them a reflection of their own struggles and hopes. Cinderella's kindness and resilience won the hearts of the people, while Alexander's humility and determination inspired loyalty. Their love story became a legend, not because it was perfect, but because it was real. A stronger love than any fairy tale. As the years passed, Cinderella and Alexander continued to grow together. They built a kingdom that valued compassion and courage, and their love remained a beacon of hope. They celebrated not just their triumphs, but also their struggles, knowing that every challenge they overcame made their bond unbreakable. The years that followed were a testament to the strength of Cinderella and Alexander's love and partnership. As they built a kingdom that valued compassion and courage, they laid the foundation for a legacy that would endure long after their reign. Their love, having weathered countless trials, became a beacon of hope not only for their people but for all who heard their story. It was a love that defied the odds and proved that true strength lies in unity and resilience. In this new era, they didn't just celebrate their triumphs, they honored the struggles that shaped them. Every challenge, every obstacle, and every moment of doubt they faced together only made their bond stronger. They ruled with wisdom, not just because of their power, but because of their shared understanding of hardship and sacrifice. They knew that their kingdom's prosperity wasn't just built on their victories, but on their ability to overcome adversity hand in hand. Their story became one of inspiration, one that echoed through the halls of the palace and beyond, reminding everyone that love, when nurtured and protected, can conquer even the darkest of times. As they grew older, Cinderella and Alexander continued to stand side by side, not just as rulers, but as equals, their love a constant source of light in the ever-changing world around them. What do you envision for their final chapter? How do they pass on their legacy to future generations? One evening, as they walked hand in hand through the castle gardens, Cinderella paused to admire the moonlit roses. "Do you think we'll ever stop learning from each other?" she asked, a playful smile on her lips. Alexander chuckled. "Not a chance. And I wouldn't want it any other way." In that moment, they understood that their love was no longer the stuff of fairy tales. It was something far greater. It was a love built on freedom, trust, and the willingness to take risks. A love that had grown stronger with every trial and every triumph. A love that was, in every way, their own. And so, as they stood together beneath the stars, they knew they had found their true happily ever after, not because their story was perfect, but because it was theirs. The happy ending with the villagers' help, they crossed the border into a neighboring kingdom, where they found sanctuary. Their love, tested by trials and strengthened by their shared journey, became a beacon of hope for others. In the neighboring kingdom, Cinderella and Alexander found not just safety, but a new beginning. The villagers who helped them cross the border became allies, and their love, forged through hardship, became a symbol of resilience. As they settled into this new land, they worked alongside the villagers to rebuild their lives, offering guidance and support to those who had suffered under the weight of tyranny. Their love story, once a secret and a dream, was now an inspiration. It proved that even in the face of overwhelming odds, love could endure, grow, and bring about change. The couple's commitment to each other and to their newfound community became a foundation for a future where compassion and courage were valued above all. As they established themselves in this new kingdom, Cinderella and Alexander's story spread far and wide, igniting hope in hearts that had long been lost. Their journey wasn't just one of survival, it was one of transformation, showing others that even in the darkest of times, love and unity could light the way. How do you see them shaping the future of this new kingdom? Will they face any new challenges, or is their sanctuary the start of a peaceful reign? Eventually, they returned to their kingdom, not as fugitives, but as leaders who had earned the love and respect of their people. Together, they ruled with wisdom and compassion, proving that true love could overcome even the greatest of challenges. And so, amidst the rolling hills and majestic mountains, Cinderella and Prince Alexander lived happily ever after, their love story a testament to courage, resilience, and the power of the human spirit.
The Stories book is a captivating collection of tales that traverse diverse genres and emotions, spanning the realms of fantasy, science fiction, romance, and mystery. Each narrative is a journey into the unexpected, weaving intricate plots and compelling characters. With a skillful blend of vivid imagery and thought-provoking themes, this anthology invites readers to explore the depths of imagination and discover the universal threads that connect us all. From heartwarming moments to spine. We hope you enjoyed these captivating video stories. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content like this. Thanks for watching and keep spreading the video story.